Hey everyone, welcome to the Roto Grinders Morning Grind podcast. I'm your host, Stevie TPFL. It's Tuesday, it's September 6th. We have 15 baseball games to talk about tonight. I want to give a shout out to my co-host today for filling in for me yesterday. It was a long, very heartbreaking, tilting Darlington race, but thanks for filling in there for me, Siege.
Yeah, no, I told you that I had a feeling that it's Darlington and there's always heartbreak there. So I had a feeling that you were just gonna be emotionally drained, but so I was ready to go. But it was no problem. Glad to fill in for you.
Yeah, still a little drained. 15 more green flag laps, 65 grand. So yeah, it is what it is. It's DFS. It's what we do, and sometimes weird spread out craziness happens, and usually don't see wrecks when cards are that spread out. I thought we were going to get green flag laps, and that wreck happened, and I jolted down from the photo tower and just didn't want to be by anybody.
Yeah, I can imagine that's. You remember how you said a couple weeks ago, how you don't look at the DraftKings until it's over?
I didn't look the whole race until like 30 to 40 laps to go on that restart, and I'm like, holy crap, I got a team in second. And then Truex got out front, and I'm like, holy crap, I got a chance to win. And I started to pull away from second place. And I was like, oh, no cautions. No cautions. And like 2 or 3 laps goes by, and that stupid caution. I was just so
no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Stop.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's talk about our sponsor, FantasyDraft.com. If you guys haven't checked out Fantasy Draft, make sure you check them out. Football season is right around the corner. They have a ton of stuff for football. They have NFL satellites that you can win through baseball, which will help you do today. And they have a $4,500 home run tonight, a $25 buy-in with a 6-entry max. Pretty level playing field there. This is, I'm not even going to say interesting. I haven't played a lot of baseball like heavily in a week or so, and this is a good slate to get back on that bandwagon.
Yeah, it's a really funky slate. There's a lot of weird things that I think we're going to be recommending as plays, but everyone's going to have to do these funky things. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play. It's also going to be pretty tilting to play.
Tilting's a good word, but let's get started here. We got 15 games to get through. Toronto at New York taking on the Yankees. We have Aaron Sanchez and Luis Cisa. Any interest in either one of these pitchers?
If this game were in Toronto, maybe, but not in Yankee Stadium with guys that both can't get left-handed bats out.
Yeah, both these, like you said, struggles with lefties. Sanchez is interesting depending on what type of lineup we see for the Yankees. They got all these young kids now, and we see a lot more righties now. But they would have to roll out like 5 righties for me to have interest in Sanchez.
Like, they're in the playoff hunt now. Aren't they like 2 games out now or some nonsense like that?
I hope not.
Pulling the standings up, I'll tell you what they're out. The Yankees are 3.5 back, so they're in it to win it at this point. So, yeah, Boston is 1 game up on Baltimore and Detroit, tied for that second wild card spot. Yankees, they're ahead of Kansas City now. They're making a move.
Where's Toronto at?
Toronto's winning the division. They have a 1-game lead on the Red Sox for the AL East.
That's what I thought. So, like, this division, shocking. This division, one of the closest divisions in baseball.
Yeah, well, 4 teams within 3.5 spots of playoffs berth. Who would have thought, right? AL East, the best division in baseball once again.
What are we doing with the bats here? Nothing really stands out to me like that, like must plays. I do like Michael Saunders in Yankee Stadium, though.
Yeah, that's the guy that kind of just you draw your attention to. It's a pretty high total here. Basically 9. I wouldn't mind a stack here, but there's just other spots on the slate that I'm going to want to have more interest in. So it's kind of a spot that is going to be low owned and has massive upside, but I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger, which probably means one of you guys probably should.
Yeah, why can't we roll out like a Yankee stack today? Like, you get them at such a discount, like, non-chalk team, a lot of games with high totals. Like, I don't hate a Yankee stack.
No, I think it's really sneaky. And there's definitely the elite pitching to pay up for, too. So, like, if your Yankee stack does well, You could win it with pitching, which most people probably won't be able to do on this slate.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be paying up for these bats that we're going to talk about throughout the podcast. I think we're kind of on the same page here. Don't hate the Yankee stack. We don't ever mind E5, Donaldson, Baptista, but I like Saunders a little bit more being a lefty here at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, Bautista is finally, after struggling with the bat after coming up, his hard hit profile looks a little better lately. He's been getting a tad unlucky, so I wouldn't mind going there either.
St. Louis at Pittsburgh, Ryan Vogelsong against Luke Weaver. I actually like Weaver here.
Yeah, I had a feeling you would.
Yeah, it shouldn't shock you at all, right?
No, and he's going to be super chalky, I would think, at this $9,200 price tag on Fantasy Draft.
I will say, I think I was the first person in the industry to jump on this Luke Weaver bandwagon.
You were there for sure. I said no. I was like the no from the old commercials. No, 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 no. And then right before lock, I said yes, and it was a great experience. He's been pitching really good. And this is a team that can strike out against right-handed pitching, so it's a pitcher-friendly ballpark. So I don't know what the case against Weaver is.
Yeah, small sample sizes, really solid strikeout numbers, really, really high soft contact rate to righties. Going to face a majority of righties here because, as we know, CJ, the Pirates don't like their best lineup.
You know what? I probably just jinxed this because, the last time I loved the pitcher against the Pirates in Pittsburgh, they rolled out the Frazier-Joyce lineup. Watch them do that to us today. If they do that, are you still in on Weaver?
If they go, it was
Frazier 1, Joyce 2.
Frazier 1, Joyce 2, then they'll have McCutchen, then they'll have Polanco and Marte.
Well, no, one of them would probably have to sit for Joyce, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So they'd probably sit like Marte.
Man, it would be a good day to give McCutchen a day off.
Right.
I don't know. I think that I won't be as heavy, but I'll still have interest because the bottom of the lineup is still pretty bad.
I agree with you, and that's kind of what happened to me on Musgrove Day. I was just curious because I was ready to just shove 100% in, and they put their good lineup out there. So I figured we should at least cover it because they might do that just to be mean to us.
Vogelsong, the Cardinals starting to come on a little bit. I feel like this is a good spot that we could target some of these Cardinals bats.
You can gladly play them. I'll sit from the sidelines.
Sitting on the sidelines for this one?
Yeah, I'm not going back to the Cardinals after they finally scored some runs. Nah.
Finally. On Fantasy Draft, I like Brandon Moss at 8,800. You can play him infield, outfield. He's always the guy that I target for the Cardinals. He's the guy I talk about on the podcast all the time. And I don't mind Carpenter and Jerko. Jerko's having a season. Whether we want to accept it or not, he's been the bright spot of this offense.
I refuse to accept it. I really do. At this point, I just can't do it.
As much as you say that, you have to give the guy a little credit here.
Yeah, but he also plays second base, which I'm locking in another guy who is redefining what hot is right now.
All right. Jerko on Fantasy Draft?
Nah.
You see his price?
Yeah, I looked at his price. I was like, nope. I'm going to pay more for Jerko than Brandon Moss. That's something that I promise you will not see on one of my teams.
I don't mind Jerko on FanDuel. He's third base eligible, 3,300, and he does have that upside. He does have 21 home runs against righties this season. Don't hate it. Atlanta at Washington. Gio Gonzalez and Williams Perez. We like lefties against Atlanta outside of Kemp.
I'm sorry, wait, what?
I said we like targeting lefties against Atlanta, but we worry about Kemp.
I said except Kemp, and I was like, Kemp's a righty. I was so confused what was going on.
I probably said that. It's been a long day.
Okay. Yeah, no, for sure. I think the Nationals are your non-cores stack day chalk. Williams Perez is really bad against lefties, and all the good lefties just had the day off. So fire up your Murphy, fire up your Harper, fire up Trey Turner. Maybe they'll bat Ben Revere second again. That was kind of fun today, except he hit a double, so he couldn't steal. But they bat him second again. I don't mind him either. Yeah,
and Williams Perez hasn't been awful this season, so we might get this stack low owned.
I would be pleasantly surprised if that was the case.
No, and I agree. I think they're going to be chalky. I think they'll be the pivot off of cores. But, like, when we look at Williams Perez's numbers, they haven't been awful. Under a home run per 9. The strikeout rate, there's just no strikeout rate. I'm with you. I
Look
love
at the teams he's faced. San Diego, San Fran, Miami, Philly, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. Like, you should be just dominating all those teams, and he had, like, 2 good starts.
I'm just saying.
This is where Williams Perez goes back to the Williams Perez we know and love.
Yes, we are going to know and love the Nationals bats. They're all in play here for me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty much. I'm just kind of hoping they play Daniel Murphy at first, just to get another lefty in there. Like, it's just play as many lefties as you guys can slam into the lineup, please.
Atlanta bats. I don't mind Kemp. I don't mind Gio Gonzalez here either.
I won't ever roster Gio. Just.
I think it's fair. I think you'll make money in the long run over time not playing him, right?
Yeah, there's a few couple of rules I made myself in DFS this year, baseball, and not stacking Doug Fister and just never playing Gio. It makes it a lot more of an enjoyable experience. It's just like he's never going to go out and throw a game that you can't match somewhere else, and of course he can just blow up with the best of them.
Yeah, for sure. Kemp and Adonis Garcia, that's where I would be at here.
Yeah, what's the Adonis Garcia price?
He's probably, I'm guessing he's still really cheap.
7,200? Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not awful. It could be better, but that's not awful.
No, definitely not. I think he's cheaper on he's 2,400 on FanDuel. I think that's where you play him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you're punting third base, which not a great strategy, but I don't hate it.
This isn't the strongest of third base slates either. I actually don't mind it on this slate.
Yeah, but Jerko. Philly at Miami. I had to get that in there one more time. Jose Arena against Adam Morgan. Like, I've been streaming pitchers against Miami and Oakland. I just don't think I could do it with Adam Morgan. I want to. Yeah, I want to too. I'm glad we thought that at the same exact time.
I mean, I really do want to. It's just, is this game in Philly or is it in Miami?
It's in Miami.
Oh, that's a massive bump to the Adam Morgan stock. I don't think those are words I never thought I'd say either. I kind of want to. I think he's a really good, like, what would happen if you put him and Weaver onto a team? Is that doable? Like, do you have too much money left over if you do that?
I'm trying to. The problem is Jason Hamill. Yeah, we're going to talk about him here in a few minutes, but Adam Morgan's 10-8 and Luke Weaver is 9-2. That leaves you so much money.
You can play Trout, you can play Murphy, you can play Turner. It gets fun pretty fast.
You can play everybody.
Yeah, and everybody is good.
Yeah, but you could put in Luke Weaver and Jason Hamill and play everybody too.
What's Jason Hamill's price?
Way too cheap.
Oh, yeah, he's less than Clay Buchholz. That's a slight misprice.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that here in a minute. And like I wrote up Eichhoff like as a tournament play yesterday, and like it's just the Marlins are just not good right now.
Yeah, no, like I don't know what, like, how is this total 8.5? That feels way too high.
Oh man, this could be a sneaky little game. If that line doesn't move too much.
I mean, that's just pretty much like on the name value of the pitchers, I think, because it's just like Morgan and Urena, and if it was like 8, it would just get immediately bet up. But I just can't imagine that it gets there. Like, this is a really sneaky, like even again for Urena, this spot isn't that bad. I hate him because he never strikes any lefties out, but Philly has no lefties.
Yeah, decent stuff against righties. Really solid soft contact rate.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they load up the lefties, then you can't do it. But if it's really just like Cesar and Howard, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. This game's a little sneaky under the radar game here.
Let's talk bats then. We'll start with Philadelphia. Ryan Howard, always some power there. Anybody else that you like here?
Yeah, I don't. What's the price on Cesar? He's been hitting the ball decent lately.
When I checked, I thought all these guys were super cheap.
He is 84 now. No,
Why is this high?
Yeah, no. He's more expensive than basically anybody in this game. Maikel Franco at 6,900. I know I just talked about how he's good against righties, but I know he's been in a terrible slump, but the price is too cheap. But it's really tough to pull the trigger on him.
You mentioned third base being pretty weak here. Martin Prado, he has a 446 batting average against left-handed pitching this season, and Adam Morgan's not great against righties.
Cash game play.
What's that? You cut out.
I said he's a perfectly lovely cash game play.
Expect a multi-game hit, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I don't hate him. Like you said, third base, a little weak here. Nothing really standing out to me. If Ozuna cracks the lineup, if they say he's back, but they're saying end of the week. So, I just don't love anything here.
Yeah, I kind of think this is kind of a spot for the pitching, to be honest.
Oh, what about the Frenchie? I can't lie. Little interest.
Yeah, you pay that price tag. Go ahead.
Where is he? I had fit. Oh my god. Stanton's on the DL and he's the same price as Stanton.
What's his a little more reasonable at FanDuel, but I still think you could do a little bit better than that, to be honest.
Oh, let's move on to the Great American Small Park. Brandon Finnegan, Rafael Montero. What's your thoughts here?
Red stack with a question mark?
Game stack with a question mark?
Wilmer Flores is in the greatest of Wilmer Flores spots.
Yes!
And he's now second base eligible on FanDuel.
Oh, buddy. Sign me up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad you're on board with the Wilmer Flores bandwagon now.
Oh, it's so much fun.
It's good things.
Yeah, I don't know if I can really get myself onto any of the Mets, though, without, no Cespedes. And it's kind of like the other right-handed bats are kind of just meh. I think I'd rather just take a Wilmer Flores one-off with a Mets stack or with a Cincinnati stack.
Yeah, why no Cespedes for you?
Well, he's out. He's doubtful for this game.
Oh, I thought they were just resting him on Monday. I thought he'd be back.
Oh, did I have the wrong game looked up when I saw doubtful? No, I still have doubtful here, so I don't know what they know that I don't.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, he sat all the veterans on the Monday game. Cespedes, Granderson.
It was a really weird Mets lineup, but I still stacked it anyway. It was like Kelly Johnson batting fifth. All right, let's do this. 2K.
Yeah, I don't hate the red stack here. Like Joey Votto, Jay Bruce. Yeah.
Yeah, and Montero has trouble with control. Peraza, Cozart, those are guys that can run. Peraza at 2.7, if he leads off, is a play that I would very much consider in all formats because we just know that Montero is wild, and they will run against a wild pitcher that doesn't have a good pickoff move.
Yeah, and they're saying 3 to 5 days on Billy Hamilton, so there's a really good chance he leads off again.
Yeah, and 2.7 on FanDuel is just a price that you have to consider him.
Baltimore at Tampa, Jake Odorizzi, Giovanni Gallardo. No.
Orioles stack? With a question mark?
Yeah, why not, right? Odorizzi struggles with righty. We get some power righty bats against him.
Yeah, and I even think Chris Davis has BVP on him, too. I kind of look.
Actually, Odorizzi actually has decent BVP against the Orioles.
Really?
Chris Davis is 5 for 24 with 2 home runs.
Huh.
Machado's 7 for 26 with 2 home runs.
I'm going to do a sample size search. See if I feel like they just got to him this year, but let me scroll down here. It's a little better recently. Is that this year? So they have had 79 at bats against them this year. Did I do that right? That'd be a lot of at bats in 1 year. Just make sure I did that correctly before I give that info out. Because if they have 79 at bats against them this year. 354 average with an OPS over 1.
That means they've seen him, 4 times? 3 times?
At least 4. Yeah. And the success rate has gone up.
They've seen him 4 times this year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
7 hits, 2 earned runs in the last meeting, 5 earned runs in the meeting before that. 1 earned run and 4 earned runs. So there's some upside in the Baltimore Bats is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think there's so many of these spots where you're just like, yeah, on a normal slate, they'd be like the 4th or 5th team I'd play. But on this slate, they're like 7th or 8th. And if you just play if you just pass on like the chalk pivots off of Coors, you can get yourself a spot at 1% that should probably be like 6 or 7%. And that's a really good edge in tournaments.
I don't disagree. Man, Longoria banged up right now.
Duffy out for the season.
I know, like, the Rays lineup is even worse, right? I didn't even think it could happen, but now it is.
Can I just say something that's going to make you want to just like go get sick?
I'm probably thinking what you're about to say.
Gallardo's probably in play here.
God, but they've hit him pretty well too.
Yeah. It was probably this, like, Ubaldo is probably the play today. Probably Gallardo's one day too late. But, yeah, probably it's one day too late. Don't fall into that trap. I take that back.
Houston at Cleveland. Corey Kluber and Brad, I want to pet your peacock.
Oh, my God. You've been waiting to say that name all year, haven't you?
Okay, so fun fact, Brad Peacock is not good at baseball. And I think it was 2013. I was writing one of my first baseball articles for Roto Grinders, and I wrote him up as a tournament play, and I swear that's the best game he's ever had in his life.
Yeah, for sure. It's like the day I said Matt Holliday had no power anymore, and he goes out and hits 2 home runs. He's hit like 1 at Cardinal Stadium the rest of the year, and that was like May. Yeah, no, just a spot for Brett. I hate stacking the Indians. I like never, ever, ever do it.
Oh, yeah, you're doing it today.
They are very high on the list.
You're jumping on that Stevie train today.
I mean, there's just so many other good spots. I don't know where I'm going to fall. Like, if the Indians start getting some traction, I probably won't do it. But my interest level in the Indians is not no, which is where it is most days.
Yeah, 95% of the time you come on the podcast. Corey Kluber, really good tournament play here.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough to pay up for him with these big bats. So it's kind of like if you go with a sneaky team like the Yankees, you get to Kluber and some better +1s in the field. So if the Yankees go off and you get a Kluber upside game, you're in really good shape.
Yeah. And you have to think he's in a pretty good spot to pick up a win on FanDuel.
Yeah, I think that's a really safe bet. What do you think the line is in this game? I haven't looked.
-190.
Oh, wow. This can't be the right line. It must not be up yet. After they've made the pitching change to Peacock, the line's not right. So I'm not even gonna say it.
All right.
Well, it says 160, but that's not right.
That's not right.
Yeah.
All right. Bats here: Carlos Santana, Lindor, Kipnis, Napoli, and on FanDuel and cash games, I do not hate Jose Ramirez here.
Tyler Naquin, Lonnie Chisenhall. Oh, I thought we were just naming everybody in play.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Houston, one of the best, like, maybe leverage hedge stacks on the day today. Oh, come on.
No, stop it.
Nobody's going to play them, though.
So what? No one's also going to play the Yankees. No one's going to play the Blue Jays. No one's going to play the Reds. No one's going to play the Orioles. You don't need to get this cute on a full slate. Stop it.
Chicago Cubs, Milwaukee Brewers, Willie Ace Peralta, Jason Hamill. Like, do we believe in the DraftKings algorithm here on Hamill?
I was just trying to pull up some data really quickly, but oh boy,
this just looks like an excellent spot for Hamill, right?
Yeah. What? But the DK algorithm like knows all.
Yeah, it's just he's going to see a pretty heavy right-handed lineup here. We've seen what he could do last outing against Pittsburgh, right-handed heavy lineup. I just even if the DK algorithm knows all, I'm still going to play Hamill here.
What do you think his ownership percentage is going to be at this price?
Really high. He's going to be really high.
45?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody knows Brewers bad against righties, too.
Yeah, you know what's really interesting? You could go with the ultimate leverage BVP play here and play Ryan Braun.
Okay. You squashed my other idea, but I don't hate that.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually probably the two best BVPs in the day are in this game: Ryan Braun and Anthony Rizzo against Willie Peralta. When I see a 5 in the home run category, that's normally very good.
Yeah, well, Willie Peralta is just not good at baseball. I don't care what happened in his last start. I'm going right back to a Cubs stack here.
I might fade it just for Rizzo one-offs.
Ballsy.
Yeah, I know.
Very, very, very
There's just
ballsy.
so many good stacks out there, and we'll get to a couple of my favorites later on. They just all need first baseman, so it's really tempting to just slide in Rizzo, hope he hits 1 or 2 home runs. The Cubs score 4. I could see it. Like, Willie Peralta's been kind of just like a little wily. Not saying he's good or anything. Let's make sure that I'm not saying that. But he's been better than people think lately. Like, he's only given up 4 more earned runs in 1 of his last 6, and the walks are down. I'm not saying that the Cubs are a terrible stack. I just don't know if I would put a ton of my percentage of interest in the Cubs today.
All I'm going to say is Chris Bryant hasn't hit a home run in 5 days, double dong day.
Well, then you can gladly take him when we get to the later part of the show.
I probably will. Kansas City at Minnesota. Irvin Santana, Dylan G, Brian Dozier should just be narked down as a pitcher since he puts up pitcher points all the time.
And he gets Dylan G in Minnesota.
He has over 20 fantasy points in 6 of his last 7 games.
And he gets Dylan G today. He has 6 home runs in his last 4 games. That's not a typo. He has 6 home runs in his last 4 games. He has 8 in his last 7.
Yeah.
Oh, and he gets Dylan G. Spoiler alert, the number 1 overall pick in Home Run Derby, Brian Dozier. You can write it down now.
All right, I'll write that down for you. Actually, I'm not going to. I'm going to hope you forget.
Yeah, good luck.
We don't like either one of these pitchers, right?
No. Well.
No.
I do have to say Irvin Santana is probably the world's greatest Jason Hamill pivot. I have to.
No.
This Kansas City offense has been so bad. All they do is strike out.
They just hit 3 home runs today?
Oh wow, Kyle Gibson. Irvin Santana is leagues better than Kyle Gibson.
It wasn't Gibson, was it?
I think so.
No.
It was one of their bad righties. Sorry, they had so
many.
It was
Barreros.
Yeah, one of their bad righties.
Yeah, anybody can break in a team out of a slump. It's him. So now they're out of their slump, and we're going to get some runs here.
I think Irvin Santana is the world's greatest leverage play in tournaments. You have to consider it. If you have a 45% owned pitcher and you have a 5% owned pitcher that is in a high strikeout upside spot, you have to consider it. You do. Whether you don't like the name or not, you have to consider it.
Draft, I do not hate Kendrys Morales in cash games today. Not that you need the savings, and I could mention a bunch of guys in the 8K range that you can just play with these pitchers that we're talking about, but Morales at 6,900, this seems like a good price for him.
Yeah, I said Irvin Santana is really good at baseball, so I wouldn't do that.
Oh.
You really, Irvin Santana is the epitome of what tournaments are about in that spot.
He has 1 double-digit strikeout game this year.
Oh, we really upset it.
And it was against Kansas City. So
there we go. I like when the math and the facts match up.
Oh, Detroit at Chicago taking on the White Sox. Matt Boyd, Miguel Gonzalez. I feel like, didn't we just have this matchup?
Maybe.
Yeah,
no, we didn't.
Boy, I swear Boyd just pitched against the White Sox.
Oh, maybe he did. I know Miguel Gonzalez didn't. Yeah, Boyd just did. We just had this spot.
4 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, nothing special. I kind of expect the same here. Like, I don't expect a deep game. I think there's better options. He could pitch decent here.
I really hope the Tigers become trendy chalk. I really do.
Well, you know I don't like Miguel Gonzalez, so I'm going to have some Tiger bats.
I love Miguel Gonzalez in spots like this because everybody stacks him up, and all he does is just put up decent performances against right-handed heavy teams. I think this is a perfectly great fade spot in a slate like this. Miguel Gonzalez, of course, hadn't given up more than 3 runs before his move to the bullpen since the end of June.
So you want to guess Matt Boyd's BABIP in that game?
It was really high. He was just getting doinked all over the place.
438.
Yeah, it was not like he was getting completely shelled. There were a couple good shots in there, but a lot of it were just kind of bleeps and bloops finding the spots.
I just remember that spot because I think the pitching was weak that day, and we looked at Boyd.
Yeah, on this slate, I don't think we need to do it.
Any bats stand out to you here? I know you don't really love the Tigers.
No, I have no interest in any bats here.
Can
Maybe Abreu, because he's just like the best hitter now in baseball.
How about I give you another name outside of Abreu?
Todd Frazier?
Justin Upton.
Oh, is he super cheap again?
No, just you know how streaky Upton is, and he's hitting home runs right now.
Yeah, fine. I think he's super cheap on FanDuel, though. I think I'd rather
2,900.
Yeah, just play him on FanDuel.
Home runs in 3 of his last 4 games. Like, this is the type of guy. He's like Jay Bruce. When these guys get hot, they're streaky. Play him now.
Yeah, I do agree with that. If I was going to attack any Tiger, it would be Justin Upton.
That's sad, right? Giants, Colorado, Jess Samardzija against Tyler Anderson. I don't even think the biggest note is, Blackmon is still dealing with this back injury, and he's been out of the lineup.
Tyler Anderson's in play here. Firmly in play. This guy is really good. He really is.
I feel like the whole Rockies, not the whole Rockies rotation, but I feel like the Rockies have really solid pitching.
I really hope they don't get a lot of off-season buzz as the next team to kind of make the jump, because I kind of think they're the next team to make the jump. They've been playing some good baseball in the second half, and just Anderson's been really consistent. Even if you look at his FanDuel logs, he has had and out of his last 10 starts, he has 1 start under 28 FanDuel points. 1. And it was that stupid start he got thrown out in with that stupid strike zone in Philadelphia. He's been really consistent, home, away. The matchup really hasn't mattered, and he gets a left-handed heavy Giants team here. This is a good spot for Tyler Anderson.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I like Anderson more than I like Irvin Santana.
Yeah, probably. I'd probably be more willing to roster Tyler Anderson, but I probably should be right. The fact that we're saying that is the exact reason why Irvin Santana is the best tournament play ever.
We're not playing the Shark here, right?
No. The Shark is going to act like what a Shark normally does. And when he eats the minnows, the Rockies are going to eat the baseballs, and they're going to go a long, long way.
All the Rockies bats are in play. Just make
every
it that,
single one.
Yeah.
I'm even talking guys like Daniel Descalso and Christian Athens, in play.
Yeah, depending on what the lineup look like. If Blackman's out again, we might get some value here.
Descalso at 3K on FanDuel has just been a guy I've been locking in. He's bats 7th every single day, and he just does something. He's and shortstop isn't exactly loaded on this slate.
Yeah, you can get him on 72. You can get par at 69 on draft.
I can't imagine playing Descalso on any site that doesn't require a shortstop. That's probably taking it one step too far for me. But I do like the spot for him a bit.
Cargo's only 9K.
Yeah, it was just the prices on FanDuel too. They're Dahl and Gonzo under 4K.
It's interesting. Yeah, I like David Dahl any matchup.
Yeah, I like the price. I like
Carr
the under
actually
4K.
has some BVP too against the Shark.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's hitting 8 for 21 with a home run and a double.
And then none of that was in Coors Field, so that's good. That's good. Good stat there for Mr. Parra.
What are we doing with the Giants? You like any of the Giants bats here against Anderson?
Buster Posey, I guess. but not really.
Man, Anderson's really good against lefties. Like, I love playing Brandon Belt against left-handed pitching, but I don't think I can do it here.
Like, yeah, either they're going to play the lefties in there where he's just, like, automatic, or they're going to put those bad righties in there. And it's just like, are you really worried about, like, Grant Green or something? Like, no.
No, I love Belt against lefties that struggle with lefties, which we see from time to time, but no.
Yeah. Brandon Belt versus Jaime Garcia, the definition of that matchup.
Yes, that is true. Angels at Oakland, Ricky Nolasco, Zach Neal. You're going to have to talk me out of Ricky Nolasco.
Okay, wait a minute. You made fun of me for recommending Urban Santana, and you're recommending Ricky Nolasco coming off of a complete game shutout? Oh, come on.
Listen, it's not anything to do with his last start. It's just
you know what the ownership is going to be because the last start? Through the roof.
Yeah, I'm streaming pitchers against Oakland. It's happening for the rest of the season, CJ.
That's fine. You know what I'll do? I'll just play Chris Davis one-off. Way better spot than playing like an over-owned Ricky Nolasco.
Oh, you want to talk about great spots, though? Like, how great is this spot for Chris Davis?
It's the best.
Yeah. Nolasco, when he struggles, it's against righties. 36% hard contact, 350 WOBA. A lot of home runs to righties. Like, this is an excellent spot for Chris Davis.
Just please don't play Ricky Nolasco. Just play Chris Davis. You'll be much happier.
Yeah, I probably won't play Nolasco here. Like, if the pitching was really bad, like, there's so many options on this slate.
Yeah.
And, like, you made a good point. Like, I like pitchers against Oakland, but he is coming off a complete game shutout.
Yeah, like, regression incoming.
Yeah, his ownership, too. Zach Neal on the other side of this game. You already mentioned Trout once. Can we mention Trout another 10 times?
This is another team that I think is like Angels with a question mark next to the stack.
But, like, we've been waiting for the Trout week, and it's going to go on a Trout month. He's Mike Trout.
Yeah, you're starting to see it. Like, the walks are going up. He's running again. Like, when I just start seeing him take steals, that's when I, like, just get I start piquing my interest. Because he doesn't run all the time anymore because the team's kind of just out of it. But when he feels like running, and, like, he ran today when they were up, like, 7-1, too. Like, he was just feeling good. And he's got, 5 out of 6 games above 20 FanDuel points. He's already there, and people aren't paying attention. So hop on board now.
CJ Cron, Pujols, Calhoun. Don't mind these guys.
No, definitely not. Pujols is on fire, too. Talk about a streaky guy. I think he had, like, 3 home runs in the Seattle series. He had 7 hits in that 3-game series. So, yeah, I don't mind him. But, of course, CJ Cron is one of my favorite players in the roster. So
Escobar banged up. Marte should hit in that 5 spot behind Cron. I don't hate that either.
No, it'll be Simmons. Don't worry about it.
Well, today they had Marte and Simmons in the 6th spot.
Wow, common sense. I'm stunned. It only took them, 2.5 months to figure that out?
Oh, moving out. Arizona at Los Angeles. My Dodgers. Oh, dude, do you know how much we love the West Coast today?
I mean, they don't understand how much we love it yet. We haven't even gotten to, like...
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But, like, Arizona and Los Angeles, Shelby Miller against the Dodgers, who are just – they've remembered how to hit the baseball. And Ross Stripling against an Arizona team where they could get to him.
You know how people are always complaining about, like, oh, if I only just played my late slate team in the all-day slate, I would have won all the money?
Yes.
This is the night to do it. I mean –
if you have 0 innings or, like, you have 0 guys in play at 10 o'clock, you're okay.
Yeah, like, I mean, I guess other than pitching.
Other than pitching, yeah.
Yeah, you have to figure out pitching. But, like, if you have all your hitters left to go, you could definitely still win this thing. And if you're winning before these 10 o'clock games, you've got a long sweat ahead of you because this is another great spot. Shelby Miller, bat against all types. He does not discriminate right or left. And you can play whatever Dodger you want.
And, like, Stripling, he really struggles with righties. He gives up a lot of hard contact. He really struggles with righties. And, Like Yasmani Tomas, like he just piques my interest so much at 6,800 on draft.
Is he hot right now? Kind of. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just like 2,900 on FanDuel for Yasmani Tomas. Just feels wrong.
I feel like he's a discount everywhere today.
There's just so many guys to pick between. It's just like it's going to take a massive score to win tonight.
Pollock's in a good spot. He's been hitting the ball well. Like we jumped on him right when he came up, and he took a couple games, but he's starting to warm up, and he's running.
Yeah, that's the key because it was an elbow injury, a freak accident. So he's like showing comfort and running. Wellington Castillo has 11 RBIs in his last 6. Don't mind him either. He's getting hot either, and he's only 2,600 on FanDuel.
Yeah, this is a great game stack. Like the Dodgers side, oh man, like sign me up.
Yeah, I think like the guy I would most likely fade from the Dodgers is Gonzo. Is that crazy?
No, like because I love Seager and I like Turner. You know, you get that catcher position with Grandal and like Reddick or Jock over Gonzalez for the more upside, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So
we're on the same page there. Like I want Grandal. He's just his second half of the season's just been incredible, and he has home runs in 3 straight games now.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. You know, you just build your template lineups before lock. You take a couple hour nap, wake up around 9 o'clock Eastern, tweak your final lineups, and then just get to watch all the late night baseball.
Oh, Boston at San Diego. Clay Buchholz and Paul Clemens. Let me guess, CJ, you have no interest in either one of these pitchers.
If this total was in Boston, like it's an 8.5 total. If this was in Boston, what do you think? 10.5, 11,
10.5 at the least.
Yeah, it is just way too low in this total. This total will fly up tomorrow, especially because I think Ortiz is going to play first in this game.
Oh, did they say that?
He's listed as doubtful, but I remember that he said he was going to try to play him one game at first base in each series. Makes sense here. I believe they play a day game on Wednesday, a get out of town game.
They're saying that he's going to be pinch hitting all series.
What?
I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, I bet you he plays. Call it a hot take. He's going to play first base in this game.
Just everybody, though. Like, give me like all my fantasy draft cash game plays could come from the Diamondbacks, Dodgers, Padres, Red Sox game.
Yeah, for sure.
If this was a slate we could pay up for 2 pitchers and just take all the value, it would just be amazing.
We can do that.
Can we?
Why can't we?
Because I'm all aboard that Luke Weaver train. Choo-choo!
Yeah, but you could just pair him up with Kluber.
Pair him up with Kluber. Take Mookie Betts. Take Schimpf. Take Solarte. Take Dickerson. Take everybody. Take Goldschmidt. Take Grandal. I'm just giving you guys all the gold here.
This is the greatest. Like, if there was any pitching on this 4-game slate, this 4-game slate would be the hardest 4-game slate in the history of 4-game slates.
Do you I feel like we could have skipped the whole podcast. It just gave out the pitchers that we liked and talked about Arizona, Los Angeles, and Boston, San Diego.
And there's actually a pitcher I like in this next game.
I'm guessing it's going to be James Paxton.
It is James Paxton.
Texas at Seattle. James Paxton, Martin Perez. Are we finally off the Perez bandwagon?
It was okay. It was never like a bandwagon. It was like the don't stack against him. And it's still a thing. Like Doug Fister gets lit up once in a while. It happens. He actually just pitched good. He just pitched against this team like 4 days ago.
He did, but you just look at the logs. It's 6 earned runs, 5. Like
one. You skip the ones and the zeros in there, Stevie.
No, I'm saying like you either faded or stacked a team.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you do with these type of pitchers. Seattle's super hot, so you could definitely make the case to stack them too, if you wanted to.
Yeah, Nelson Cruz one off with the boomstick.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would be honestly more likely to stack Seattle than use them as a one-off. They're just so hot.
So many good spots today.
I know. It's what I'm saying. It's just like there's literally like 12 to 13 spots. If you just take a stand on like one of the ones that we talked about earlier, like if you go in on Baltimore, and they have a great game against Odorizzi or the Nationals or the Yankees, you're going to get them at 1%. Whatever team that you fall in love with, you're going to get them low-owned if it's not Coors. And, oh, by the way, Coors might even be underowned because there's so many great pivots. Like, this is – like, I'm a guy that thinks ownership matters on this slate. It really doesn't.
All right. Let's play some home run derby.
By the way, I don't like any Texas bats. I think we made that clear. Paxton, hard stuff for a lefty. I really do think he's a good tournament play on that full slate. He's probably like the sneaky guy that I have interest in here on the slate. And he did okay in that last Texas start, but this is a massive ballpark bump for him.
Yeah, and he's way better than Irvin Santana too. Just throwing it out there.
I don't know if I would go that far.
Just CJ, you got to come to the point where I'm just going to say everybody's better than him.
That's fine, but I want you to say something outrageous that I can make fun of you for.
All right, let's play home run derby. I
did not forget Brian Dozier. You're up.
I didn't think you would.
There's a sticky pad literally above my computer that says Brian Dozier.
All right, well, I'm going to go Mookie Betts.
Oh, you left me one of the really good guys. Now if I just remembered who it was. There was a guy that I thought you were taking first overall. Oh, I'm going to totally steal your boy. You called him to hit 2 home runs. You didn't take him in the first round. Chris Bryant.
All right. I'm going to steal your boy right back at you, and I'm going to stick with the Chris, but I'm going to go Davis.
Well, that's fine. I'm going to take your boy, Ryan Schimpf.
Yes, I love me some Schimpf today. I can definitely get behind that. And since we're talking about boys, we're going to take the boy among the men. We're going to take Mike Trout.
If we don't have like home runs on this, like with these combinations of guys, this slate is just really messed up.
Dude, we could play a second round of home run derby, and I feel super confident that I could get at least another 2, maybe 1 or 2 home runs.
Yeah, I completely agree.
At the end of the day, if you had to pick somebody to pick up a win not named Corey Kluber, who do you got?
I'm not going to take your boy from you. Stevie's answer is Luke Weaver.
Actually,
right?
Yeah,
okay. God.
Actually,
it's not. It probably is. Come on. Who else would it be?
I think Jason Hamill's in a great spot to win. Like, if the Cubs can't score on Willie Peralta.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. What's the spread in that game? That's like an interesting line I should look at. We should have looked at it. Oh, that's a fishy line, Stevie.
Is it really high?
No. It's like 170. Oh, is that fishy?
Gio's the biggest favorite at 220. Clay Buchholz is a 190.
There's no chance that lasts. None. 0. No chance. If you happen to listen to this podcast early and live in Las Vegas or somewhere else where it's legal, bet the San Diego money line now. And the over, for that matter.
Oh, Luke Weaver is only a 115. Might not be as chalky as we think.
Man, that's a fishy line, too, against Ryan Vogelsong. I think that's more the bats than anything. That's just telling me to stay away from the Cardinals' bats. I'm not going to get scared off Luke Weaver. It's just too good of a spot. It's going to be like a 3-2, 3-1 type game. I can see that. I don't get scared off your boy now.
No, I'm not getting scared off him. I'm all about me some Luke Weaver. And
yeah, I really think for me it's Irvin Santana. I really do.
All right, that's gonna
Dylan G is that bad.
That's gonna do it here for the Tuesday edition of the Morning Grind. I want everybody to do 2 things today. Google Jonathan Villar's blow up in the dugout after being called out on strikes. And Google the end of the truck race from this weekend and watch the guy get speared by the checkered flag. That's what I'm going to tell you guys. Little humor for the podcast today. Any final thoughts before we get out of here, CJ?
No, this is going to be one fun baseball slate. Definitely don't play too much volume, but definitely give yourself a late night hammer stack because it'll be fun to watch.
Play the late games too. Do not forget about the late games. I know they're always low owned, but don't forget about the late games tonight.
You can build an elite team from just the 4 late games for bats. Trout, Chris Davis, and stack the Padres or Red Sox, and you just have like an amazing upside stack.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Don't forget about my Dodgers. Don't forget about my Dodgers. All right, that'll do it here for Tuesday. Good luck in your contest tonight, and we'll see you again tomorrow.